Ah. Okay, here's my question for those of you who have. The quests you go on, like the missions you get and stuff, are there choices about the outcome of the mission? Is it something that you could actually roleplay like this, where I have a certain character who treats things a certain way, so he chooses like outcomes? Like, for example, could I play a guy who prefers non-violent resolutions? Is that stuff that's available, or is it pretty much just go here, do A, and there's only one outcome every time, etc., etc.? That's one thing I'm really curious, because I've heard that the quests are like Star Trek episodes, and you feel like you're kind of participating in Star Trek, but I haven't heard if it's if there's any choice to the outcomes. Where am I going? Travel to Dromund Kos. Okay, I'm traveling to Dromund Kos then. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. You don't believe so? You think like the mission's always in the same way no matter what? That kind of stinks that they don't give you any choices or options. What's wrong with choice? What's wrong with choice? Yeah, I'll still play Swtor. No, I absolutely do not play Swtor. Never touch the stuff. Heard it's bad influence. Well, that's actually really sad that you don't have any choice in how you handle the missions and stuff. Boo. I mean, I'd still enjoy it if the storylines are decent. Yeah, well, Angus says a lot of things. Angus is wrong. So... he's not right about everything. Or, let me put it a more specific way. Hengist is entitled to his own opinions. Doesn't necessarily mean they're mine. Or the majority of people's. Swtor's videos are still some of the most watched videos I produce. So, obviously, his opinion may not be held by everyone. I quite enjoy the game, despite its many faults. I will be the first to admit, though, that it does have faults.
Enjoy your stay.
Well, I meant story-wise, Dr. Gnome. I've seen enough of the gameplay to know what the gameplay's like. I'm curious as to the story, because I've heard that a lot of the writing for the quests in Star Trek Online are actually decent to good, which is why I'm interested. One of the main reasons why I'm interested. Whee! Kind of the reason why I play this game. I play this game 99% because of the story. Actually, Dr. Gnome, I've heard that the ground combat can be done in a first-person mode, where things like line of sight and corners matter, which to me is a huge improvement over the gameplay in this game, where I could be half a mile away and that laser bolt will still find me. Dun 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 dun.
Yes, sir.
You guys can just call me Squee. Doesn't have to be 913 or Spiffy or anything. Just Squee's fine. Everything else is only because the channels needed a title. Where am I headed exactly? I'm not even sure. Do I get to talk to Watcher? Or Keeper? I miss her.
The Emperor and his proxies have made their intent clear. Their fleets are entering the core systems. They have broken the Treaty of Coruscant. Survivors in the Mid-Rim report the near wholesale slaughter of colonies. Surrender isn't enough. They only want death. Let there be no mistake. We are at war.
Display off. Tell me, Cypher, what's your assessment of your mission at Eisen 4?
We identified Hunter's role in a clandestine operation, even if its purpose isn't yet clear. We also captured evidence.
Yes, that evidence. The device used to sabotage the colony. Fixer 12 recognized the override technology from Operation Starbender 8 years ago. That mission was also an anomaly. How are the new Watchers working out?
Their brains are faster than mine, sir, and they don't need as much sleep. This generation seems promising.
When's the last time you were off duty?
46 hours, 19 minutes. The department's been busy.
Tell him about Starbender.
Starbender was a disaster, or it should have been. A pirate fleet was about to destroy an Imperial base when the pirates' flagship exploded. It was sabotaged by unknown persons. We were saved using the same technology that destroyed Eisen 4. Realizing that, I reviewed other lucky incidents, Operations Morning Crest and Vanity, looking for other occurrences of this technology.
That's when you found the recording?
Yes. Caught by accident 4 years ago, simultaneous with Morning Crest.
Reporting. I am inside the SIS. Maintain cover for 6 months, then proceed. Guard your thoughts when near the Jedi. Understood.
These people have been intervening in our affairs. I assume you recognize the voice.
I recognize the servant, but not the master.
Yes, go on.
At the Minister's suggestion, the Watchers and I began searching the unsolved case files for patterns of outside intervention. We found 62 relevant incidents so far. The oldest go back centuries, before the Empire revealed itself to the galaxy. But 9 are from the past 5 years.
Whom do you deem responsible?
In my analysis, an organization with espionage training and extensive resources, unaffiliated with the Republic or the Empire. Motivations unknown.
You must have some guess where they come from, what they're after.
We are working on it. The pieces just aren't there.
With the Republic at our doorstep, now is not the time to be chasing conspiracies and ghosts, but we have little choice. Someone is manipulating this war. Someone who destroyed the Shadow Arsenal and Eisen 4, who gave the SIS your keyword. I need you to find these invisible agents before they do something catastrophic.
I'll expose these people, and I'll learn the truth.
We've identified 13 possible leads on the enemy, all off-world. We'll narrow those down by the time you reach your ship.
Good. Get an hour's rest, then return to work.
Wait, no talkie?
I have a conference with Darth Baras and the Minister of War. I'll keep this operation secret as long as I can, but our foes will find out. Be wary.
Okay. Yeah, the whole like after this we're done. Actually, I'm okay with them so far. They haven't done anything that I don't understand or I'm not okay with the keyword thing, but at least he did what he could.
You'll have to excuse me.
Okay. Take care of yourself. Where am I headed? Oh, just right out here. Well, okay.
Beginning strategic synthesis. I am Grand Moff Kilran.
I confront the problem of a Republic fleet at Concord Dawn.
I respond sardonically as I consider the unique resources at our disposal. Access bounty hunter file.
Exciting times, sir. You should meet the new genetically improved Watchers.
Let's see the new crew.
Watcher 7.
Cypher 9. I am Watcher 7. My siblings and I studied your work in training.
Tell me what your studies showed.
Despite your successes, you have repeatedly acted inefficiently. Given your recent undercover operation, we wonder about the stability of your psyche.
That's enough. Return to your post. They mean well, I think. Anyway, Keeper's briefing me on your operation in an hour. Which means we both have work. Good luck.
Okay. Where to now? My ship's holo terminal. Quick travel. Dun 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 dun. From what I understand, people are in the chat are talking about which stories in Swtor are good and which ones are bad, and the consular. From what I understand, more people like the agent storyline, less people like the consular storyline. But from what I'm gathering, it's not that they were written badly or well or whatever. It's that they play to the strengths that you're supposed to have in that story. For example, a consular, Jedi consular, is supposed to be a diplomat. And that's what the story is about. It's about being a diplomat and politics and stuff. And, of course, I'm sure there's a lot of gamers who just don't care about that kind of thing. It's too slow or less action or whatever, so they just don't like it as much. It's not that it's a bad story. This is what I'm hearing. I haven't played it, but it's not so much that it's a bad story. It's just that less gamers like it because they don't want to be a diplomat. They want to be a badass. And more people like the Imperial Agent stories because who doesn't want to be James Bond? That's what I've gotten out of it, basically. Personally, I'd probably enjoy being a diplomat. Whee! Wow. Someone in the chat just said to go rub your nuts on the sidewalk. That's friendly. Oh, gotta love the internet. Anonymity is a wonderful thing, isn't it? Oh, right. Holo terminal. Ha! Must use. Must use.
This is Watcher 6 to Cypher 9.
Hi.
Initial target assessment is complete. Recommend you proceed to Planet Belsavis for operational briefing.
No, he's not going to flirt anymore. He's kind of more serious now.
On my way. Any details yet?
My conclusions would be misleading. Uploading hyperspace coordinates and new security codes. Be aware that in times of war, clearance must be reconfigured every 6 hours. Watch your 6 out.
This whole conspiracy tripe, you really think we're gonna find something?
I think prudence is a virtue in times like these.
They sent us summary briefing files, sir. Whatever you need, we'll be ready.
You haven't had it easy since coming on board. Everything that's happened.
Oh, I haven't followed half of it, but I'm committed to trying.
Yeah, all right. Strap in.
Aw, are you jelly? Don't be jelly, crazy lady, just because I don't like you. Okay, maybe be jelly a little bit. That's fine. 7 XP! Oh, yeah! Woo! Woohoo! Yeehaw! Alright, to Belthaveth. Oh no, wait, we've got people to talk to. Hello, Doc. You want some more conversation, do you?
Doctor, you wanted to talk.
Yes, and I'm terribly sorry to take your time. But I have a small request.
Mm-hmm.
To be frank, it's a bit of an embarrassment.
Is it now?
You have my undivided attention.
I told you before about my safe houses, how my intruder alarms have been going off. Well, I attributed it to local happenstance. I may have been mistaken. My safe house on Balmora exploded.
Oh.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
Very much, but my scanners melted 0.7 milliseconds after activation. I could theorize regarding who did this and why, but truthfully, all I know is someone bypassed Imperial security to get inside. I'll need to see the safe house in person. I'll return as soon as I can.
You could be walking into a trap. Stay alert, Doctor.
And you.
What do you mean, why is the XP gain so low? Dude, that was like 7 experience points. Genius level.
My safe house did indeed burn to the ground, along with 3 would-be assassins who were attempting to wire it with explosives. Apparently, my security triggered their bombs prematurely.
I assume you're trying to ID these people.
I did acquire genetic samples of the intruders. I'll be running traces shortly. One was a human male. The others, uncertain. Regardless, they used Imperial equipment and codes to get inside. Someone in the Empire wants me dead.
Supposing you're right, what do you intend to do about it?
The list of people with grudges against me is a long and varied one. It will be some time before I narrow it down. But I take comfort in the fact that I'm once again viewed as a threat. My days in retirement are over.
I'm glad that you find peace in that. I sure wouldn't. More conversation. Look
What
at
can I do for you, Doctor?
Forgive me, but as your sole medical officer, I have to point out that your eating habits have been less than satisfactory lately.
Oh, no.
Now, I'll take my share of the blame. I've been preoccupied making calls, catching up on what I've missed in the intelligence community. Still, the fact that people are trying to kill me does not excuse my neglect of your health.
I appreciate your concern, but you've done a fine job.
Says the child to the unstrict parent. But regarding my search, I do have some small amount of news. I've identified one of the assassins as an operative for Colonel Langor, a man with ties to the Imperial Science Bureau. The Bureau is also the likely origin of the other dead men whose genetic structure had been mutated. Weaponized humans.
What do you mean, weaponized humans? What's the Science Bureau doing?
Military research is the Bureau's purpose. Making humans stronger, faster, is one approach. Which reminds me, I'd like your permission to run some tests on Master Vector. I'm rather curious about a joiner's physiology, and Vector is keen to learn more about himself.
If it won't cause harm, I don't have any objections.
Wonderful. I'll let him know the good news. And of course, I'll keep you apprised.
Alrighty then. What'd you find out, Doc?
My good friend, have you noticed that the price of Dianogan tea has risen considerably since we broke the Treaty of Coruscant? One of the costs of war you never anticipate. And now my jamming device is working, so we can dispense with the inanities.
You're not usually this cautious. What's going on?
Thanks to a now wealthy Kubaz information broker, I've identified the people who want me dead. They represent an organization called Project Protium, a secret research and development group inside the Imperial Science Bureau.
You are good at this game. Give me the details.
Protium researches practical applications of alien biology. You recall the genetically modified assassins who came after me? They're only the beginning. Imagine troops spliced with Abyssin genes to enhance healing, or adrenals derived from Gamorrean hormones. Most test subjects don't fare well, but you can see the potential.
That sounds awfully like what you were doing on Taris.
There's a great deal of interdepartmental rivalry in our work, and my research does overlap with theirs. They may have targeted me in order to ensure that they have no competition, inside or outside the Empire.
This is your operation. What's our next step?
Further study, I'm afraid. Right now, I'm unsure where the project is based or how to contact its members, but I wanted to keep you apprised. Now, about that Dianogan tea.
Fine. He, like, pulls out his wallet, gives him money. Things I do for my crew.
A moment. Hour 36. Subject exhibiting low-grade fever and elevated N-cell counts. I will proceed to the second formula. Apologies for that, Agent. Bioexperiment logs wait for no man.
Going to say what your experiment is about?
Well, I told you about Project Protean and their research into alien genetics. I managed to gain access to one of their databanks. Nothing incriminating there, but I was impressed by their scientific data. I've been adapting it for my own studies into the Rakghoul virus.
If you're running tests on yourself, you must be confident in the results.
Sample assays can only tell one so much. I'm now in my second day incubating the modified virus. If it doesn't break down my cell structure entirely, I should emerge revivified.
You become a stronger, faster man-eater?
More important, the change itself will be less taxing. It's not unpleasant as is, but it leaves me with a tremendous headache. Now, if you'll excuse me, this fever is becoming distressing.
Sora, from what I understand, the Jedi Knight is the most, like, epic, event-shattering events. You know, you do the things that change the galaxy kind of thing. Jedi Counselor is more diplomatic. Yeah, you're a diplomat. It's supposed to be really political, intriguing, etc., etc. Smuggler is basically what you'd expect. It's more lighthearted, smuggly type story. I don't know anything about the Trooper. Everyone says it sucks. On the Imperial side, you've got the Imperial Agent, which I can say is a really well-crafted story, but it's about espionage. It's James Bondy. It's infiltrating a bunch of groups and pretending to be people and working, sabotaging them from within, kind of thing. The Sith Inquisitor is what would you liken it to? It's much more of a personal story than an earth-shattering world event story, but it's about surviving in the world of the Sith. It's a good story. And Sith Warrior is actually a really good one too. It's epic, like the Jedi Knights is epic, but you know, for the Empire side. The thing I would say that's very interesting is that it allows you to play both roles really well. In other words, you could play a Sith character, Sith Warrior or Sith Inquisitor, and be very light side if you wanted, meaning you can be a light side Sith and the game will recognize your choices and allow you to play it really, really well. Or you could be a dark side Jedi and the same thing. I have found it incredibly fascinating to be a kind-hearted, light-sided Sith because no one sees it coming and everyone gets confused. And everyone's just like, but you're Sith. I love it. Some people don't, you know.
Agent, you recall we spoke to the diplomatic service about building an alliance between Empire and Kilix? Falner Eth, the man who offered his backing in return for our assistance, has asked us for his first favor.
You don't owe him anything, you know.
No, but his support could make a difference. Falner wants our notes on various families and unaligned worlds in the Questal sector. He means to bring that sector into the Empire. We worked in Questal a long while, and we knew its people well. It's odd to see someone else take the reins.
You don't talk about your old life.
We don't often have a reason to think about it. We do miss negotiating, reaching out to understand people, synthesizing their needs. Daizana of the Lesai Nest says that desire makes us a better joiner. It's only small comfort.
I remember her. I didn't know you two were in contact.
Through the unseen emissaries that travel with us, we hear her voice from time to time. But that isn't relevant now. We'll give Falner what he wants, for the sake of the Empire and the colony.
Kai, good for you.
You wanted something, Vector?
We do not neglect our duties. We are Dawn Herald. We do this for the Nest. Agent, we've had another request from Falner Eth, our ally inside the diplomatic service. We need to take a short leave.
I heard you talking to the emissaries of the Nest. Is everything all right?
Everything's fine. The distance from our kin is unusual and causes rifts. Falner's stock is rising, but he needs further acclaim before he can push for a Killic Imperial alliance. He's asked us to visit a former Republic governor named Yoganath Anoth and win his cooperation by turning him into a joiner.
So you're supposed to strip a man of his individuality and make him part of the Nest?
We'd hoped Falner wanted us for our diplomatic skills, not for this. The joining should be a gift, but we will find a way.
You know this isn't right. Don't do it, Vector.
We appreciate your concern. We ask that you trust our decision.
Okay.
You're back. Did you find your man?
We spoke to the Republic governor. If you'll join us, we'll report the details to Falner Eth.
My friends, it's been too long.
Falner, we assume you heard from Fenoth.
He contacted me from an Imperial transport. Apparently we promised to work with him. Not what I requested, but the service can make do.
There was no need to make him a joiner when he was amenable to discussion.
You haven't lost your touch as a diplomat, after all.
Not entirely, no.
You kept your promise. Anoth's assistance resulted in my promotion. I will keep my promise to you. Some important people are waiting, Vector. They're very interested in a potential Killic alliance.
You arranged this?
As soon as I knew we could work together. Check the data I'm streaming to your main console.
Thank you, Falner. Excuse us a moment, Agent.
It's like talking to a bug wearing a man's skin. I don't know how you stand it.
He's a brave man and a loyal Imperial.
You can't be serious. Those creatures are anathema to everything the Empire stands for. There's no place for great men in a hive mind. Only animal instinct. I'll be relieved when you people finish this scheme and get rid of the colony for good.
What? But we're not... What?
Agent, they listened. They don't understand yet, but they listened. The diplomatic service has requested my aid and wants to initiate relations with the colony.
Listen, Falner Eth is keeping his deal, but he's repulsed by Killics. We can't trust him.
He admits it? We always did get an odd sense from him. It's out of his hands now, though. We should watch him, but we'll be focused on the future.
Interesting.
Agent, we received a small gift from the diplomatic service in appreciation of our work with the Killiks.
Did you get a trophy?
A package of wine, meat, and breadfruit,
Aww.
all imported from the colony worlds. Not inexpensive, and a bit extravagant during wartime.
I would have taken a trophy.
Aren't extravagant gifts part of the diplomatic process?
Maybe, but we'd rather they treated us as one of their own, not as a foreigner to be won over. In the meantime, you're welcome to help yourself. We may as well enjoy the taste of progress.
Yay! I got 6,000 experience points just to have him tell me I could have some of his dinner.
What do you have for me?
Encouraging news. Watch.
Don Herald, forgive the message, but our emissaries were out of reach and we couldn't wait to link with you. Imperial scout ships entered colony space and made contact yesterday. We traded in Membrosia, silk, and star maps. We could smell the men's fright, but they left in peace. Perhaps you were right after all.
A long way from a signed treaty, but it's a start.
You and that joiner seem to get along.
Dazana is a nestmate, and we find her insight illuminating. We're in touch with the diplomatic service as well. There's still resistance, but we're progressing. Killiks and Imperials may share space in our lifetime.
Interesting. More conversations. You are a chatterbox. Love it.
What's going on?
Agent, in our work with the diplomatic service, we find ourselves talking to people we once knew. We've been contemplating this.
Hello, Vector. It's Honora. I don't know if you remember me, but Bryson said he thought you would, and I wanted to talk to you. I know things didn't end well, but I never forgot. You need to get out of there. Come back to Drummond Cast and we'll get you help. We can undo what the Killiks did. There are still people who care about you.
We've watched it 17 times and meditated to the static.
It can be difficult to be reminded of your past.
Can it? We were nearly engaged to Honora very long ago. We never considered that there are people who want us restored to what we were. But watching this, feeling nothing, we know we're no longer who we were when we loved her.
If you could be restored, would you want it?
No. We had to know if our reaction was unnatural, but we don't think it is. We are content.
Good. Good for you. I'm gonna level up just by talking to this guy.
We can scent the pulse of your heart. We can taste particles of solar radiation bead like dew on our lips. We have undergone the chrysalis of tranquility, and we are reborn.
I don't know what that means, but I'm glad you're excited.
The chrysalis is a ritual of the Dawn Herald. It makes us stronger, better able to face the enemies of the nest, and enhances our link to the universe. You've brought us this far, and we will fight alongside you.
I don't know what you're talking about, but is you happy? I'm happy. I'm good to go. Good job. Good job, Bug Boy. I am happy that I was able to bring peace to the people, etc., etc. Belthavith time! I love that. I love this planet. I just love saying this planet. I'm gonna travel to Belthavith!
This is headquarters to Cypher 9. Clearing your arrival with station control.
Okay.
Cypher, you're now orbiting 40,000 kilometers above Belsavis, the Republic's largest penal colony. Fancy rebuilding your criminal reputation?
I thought you swapped your sense of humor for the promotion.
Only in part. Proceed, Watcher 3.
Belsavis prison was built in secret to hold the galaxy's most dangerous individuals. 3 main levels, thousands of specialized cell blocks holding everyone from changelings to Sith Lords.
We've known of the prison's existence for nearly a year. Now we understand that the conspirators subverted Belsavis to their own use.
You sound pretty confident given the circumstances.
It's all about following the record trail.
The conspirators pulled strings with Republic higher-ups to construct a special section, Mega Security Ward 23. It's somewhere past the alien cells and the genocide ward. They built it and sealed it when Belsavis was founded. No one gets inside.
It's the highest security area of the best protected prison in the galaxy. You're going to break in and find what it's hiding.
Lay out our resources. How do we do this?
2 decades ago, a prison gang heard about the ward and tried to breach it, hoping something inside would help them escape.
Thieves, security experts, the underworld's best. None of them made it back. But they had the right idea.
You'll assemble your own gang from the prison. Establish yourself as a fellow inmate and succeed where the last group failed.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Alright.
Anyone particular in mind for my gang?
You'll find supplies and a detailed dossier at our outpost on the planet's surface.
Our military forces are encouraging riots as part of the war effort. It's distracting the Republic and should conceal your operation. But don't be mistaken. The prisoners are not grateful. Keep it out.
See, that's why I'm loving this story. It's all about infiltration. I like infiltration. Let's go. Let's go be inmates. Never thought I'd say that.